Hello, it's 11:01. I'm Roy Michaels, and you are listening to WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. This evening, you and I will be taking a trip to a strange realm, a dimension where the traditional rules of space and time do not apply, a place where the calendars are empty and the clock faces are blank. If you ask someone for the time, they'll say, "Listen, pal, look at my watch. It's blank. There is no time. You want to know what hour it is? Do you really want to know what hour it is?" Well, I guess you could say it's a mystery. A mystery hour. As always, I am broadcasting to you live from the basement tomb that is WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. Tonight, I'm joined by Special Agent Keith White, Special Agent Sean Kilpatrick, Special Agent Evan Lane, and Connor. Together, we'll be examining an entity that has the means to bring its kookiest schemes to fruition, whether it's for the sake of power, curiosity, control, or entertainment, as we cover one of the creepier tendrils of the American government, the Central Intelligence Agency.
Am I on?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. Remote viewing.
Remote viewing.
Yeah.
So that is when you line up a bunch of remotes and watch them,
And you
right?
look right at them. Yeah.
I have spent my entire week working on that joke.
Yeah, you're making a mockery of me, Roy.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so have you guys seen the documentary The Men That Stare at Goats?
No, I have not.
Have not. Looks like Sean has. Kind of nodding his head.
Maybe.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about, right? And that has to do with remote viewing and other sorts of psychic powers. Now, tonight, I'm making a request. I want our listeners to pull out any small, broken mechanical objects that they have, old watches, things like that.
Maybe some hit clips, maybe some
Yeah,
Tamagotchis, an old
Hit
Game
clips,
Boy.
those aren't really mechanical, but,
pipe
that'll
bomb.
work. That'll work, yeah, why not? Anything, really, that you can hold in the palm of your hand. Because later on, I'm going to use some mind remote control to see if we can get these working again. So we'll do that after the next break. So just, get those things ready. I think Keith had something to say.
Yeah, Keith is, if you remember correctly, he is our MK Ultra expert, and that is a topic that we will be covering tonight. We all took some time out of our week to prepare adequate notes to properly cover MK Ultra. Yeah, he led our human experimentation episode, and
Yeah, so I'm just going to give it to you guys straight.
maybe you listened better than I
I
did.
lost the notes, right? And they were in my printer history, but I think something might have happened at a government level to remove these pages from existence.
As if.
As if a conspiracy, perhaps?
They were
or
stolen.
Who took them? Connor says they were stolen. I don't know.
I think they were pulled out of the Matrix. The government does have access to that. Listen, if you have a phone and you don't want to be found, get rid of that phone. But that would be silly because with your phone, you can listen to the new WMEB 91.9 FM Orono Maine live stream on the internet. Just go to the WMEB Facebook page and find the link. Keep that phone and stay on the grid. Keith?
Yeah, don't abandon technology. Keep it so you can keep up with us. Because if you abandon technology, you abandon us. And that's not what we want. We want you to learn and prosper. And so anyway, I do believe that the main purpose of this printer is to store your data remotely in its history, right? It's digital. It's electronic. It connects over Wi-Fi waves.
I do know a big part of remote viewing is that we are all part of a central consciousness that can be tapped into and mined for information. Do you think that printers, fax machines, computers are also in that network?
Absolutely. Like, I know they've usually got really bad firmware, so they're like an attack vector if you're a bad guy, right? Like, maybe their office printer's out of date and you can sort of get some malware in there like that. What if the CIA has circumvented that, infected my printer, and now they've got the mystery hour data to use against us? Is that your opinion, Roy? A belch? Are you taking this seriously? Am I a clown right now?
No, that was...
This is embarrassing.
I feel sick to my stomach because what they're doing to us, the people, is sickening.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
disgusting.
sick. It is gross and it needs to end. And we are going to end it.
What? Okay, that's Roy's opinion. That's not what I was going to say.
Listen, I've been watching InfoWars all week, okay?
Yeah? You ready
Alex
to act?
Jones' rhetoric has seeped into my mind and rotted my brain.
Oh, no.
I can't be a conspiracy host anymore.
Are you just afraid you're going to... What's wrong? What do you fear?
Listen, we've started the show about a year ago now, okay? And ever since we started the show, I've been seeing white vans, unmarked vans everywhere. At school, at work, at the playground I frequently visit, outside of my apartment.
The one with the tetherball?
The one with the tetherball.
That's how you got good at tetherball.
And I think I'm being watched. I think we are on the list. We put ourselves out there, and it's a big mistake. We should just stop the broadcast now.
I don't think this is Roy speaking. Did anyone see Roy get here?
Gotta go.
All right, he's actually slithering out of the room right now. Where's our host? Okay, Connor?
Well, I just want to say I'm pretty sure I'm being watched as well because at my house there's this old woman, and she makes me dinner, and I use her car, and I don't know who this person is, but she's on. She's on to us. I think she's spying on me. I don't know. Does anyone know who this could be?
I think I'm back, by the way.
Roy's back. Just on your comment, Connor, I have no idea, but I just wanted to ask you something. Don't you usually threaten to assassinate political figures in the public just to see if the CIA comes back at you? Has that happened yet?
I want to say I absolutely do not. Please leave me alone.
You really put him on the spot.
Yeah, you're putting me way on the spot.
Is that something you would like to recreate on our live radio show?
Absolutely not. We don't need the CIA showing up here for a sixth time.
So where were we on MK Ultra? I believe that is Mortal Kombat Ultra Edition. For a while it was the stuff of a kooky conspiracy theory.
Because it didn't work well on PC, right?
Because it didn't work well on PC.
Yeah, and then they fixed it.
You had to get Linux. There's a whole thing.
Yeah,
Someone's laughing at that joke.
somewhere. Linux was nothing to do with it.
That
right? But
fact.
you've okay. So MK Ultra, is that what we're trying to get at
It
here?
was a shadow project, okay? That
Yeah.
only the neckiest beards of neckbearddom knew about it, and everybody thought they were crazy. And of course, the government loves this. They love that conspiracy theorists are losers like us, because the truth can hide in plain sight, because nobody believes us. But in 1995, President Bill Clinton, I should have had a saxophone sound effect right there. He issued a formal apology on behalf of the U.S. government for the MK Ultra project. The CIA experimented on U.S. citizens from 1950 to 1973, using drugs, hypnosis, verbal abuse, and even torture. Rectal feeding. The experiments were conducted in over 80 different institutions, including prisons, hospitals, and universities. Do you think the University of Maine participated in MK Ultra?
How would we find out? Did you look into it yourself, or is this just a blind question?
Well, I tried to look into it, and I got the runaround
Yeah?
at Fogler.
Oh, yeah, my favorite coffee/library factory.
They don't sell Folgers coffee there. Too much confusion. For those non-college students, that was a sick campus reference. But the thing that's creepy about the... Keith, could you please answer the phone?
Yes.
Whoever's calling, we will get to you. The creepy kicker about MK Ultra is that the CIA director Richard Helms destroyed most of its documents before it went public.
My God.
wait, hold on. Let's try. Let's dial it back. I think we got ahead of ourselves. The creepy kicker. CIA Director Richard Helms destroyed most of the documents.
This is just like pure pandering right now. The fans are gonna love you, Roy.
I'm a one-trick pony. I burp. The people love it. They give us calls. Shout out. Who was that?
I was too flustered to ask because I honestly thought they were gonna insult you, and I was ready to like just act like they were complimenting you, and I didn't even pay attention, honestly.
Well, I need to have criticism. Okay.
It was a compliment?
I think being the host of the Mystery Hour has caused too much power to go to my head.
Was it a girl?
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, I believe it was a female, or it was like a very feminine sounding male. But I guess that's cool too, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd like any sort of fan. Anyone out there.
You gotta stay cool. There's one thing that we covered in MK Ultra last time, and it's the only thing I can really remember because I was not present when Keith was delivering his monologue. Operation Midnight Climax. Now, was that when the CIA operated a nightclub to get people in there to give them drugs to conduct MK Ultra experiments?
Yeah, that was exactly that. They actually gave drugs to their locally employed women of the night, if you will, and then they distributed the
What are you
drugs.
talking about, like vampires?
Yeah, vampires who
What?
lust for other things, not blood. Okay, regardless, I'm talking like intercourse stuff, you know. Regardless, they gave them drugs, and they what are you laughing?
Intercourse stuff.
I'm not gonna skirt around it. They know. We're talking to adults here, all right? Okay. Oh, Sean doesn't know.
Sean
I'm
doesn't-
sorry. I'll talk to you about it some other time.
Maybe we should cover
They
that.
gave them the drugs, and they knocked them unconscious, and they brought them back to the CIA laboratory for testing, and that's how they got their subjects.
I do know that a lot of what they did to subjects on drugs was that they would challenge everything they believed. This happened to Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber.
Really?
Yeah. So they brought him in as part of like a Harvard study or something, wherever he went to school. Could be the University of Maine for all I know.
Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this show are those of the DJ and do not reflect the opinions of WMEB, its staff, or the University of Maine.
But regardless, they filled the room with papers. and on the papers were his most deeply held beliefs. Okay, now he's got a head full of drugs. We had nuclear submarines in the 1950s. Can you imagine the kind of acid our government had in the 60s and 70s? Just really think about that. Really take it in. So they brought him in there, and they challenged like all of his beliefs. They really broke him down as a person. It was sort of a psyops operation to, I think the point was either psychological warfare or population control. And, the Unabomber, he became a maniac. He was very distrustful of institutions, specifically the Postal Service, universities, and airliners, because he would send them bombs, and he didn't like technology so much that he would make them out of wood.
He knew how to send a message. Like, he was strong with his beliefs.
He's like a homegrown Paul Bunyan.
Of all comparisons.
And it's kind of funny when you think about it. Like, Thoreau lived in the woods and he wrote Walden. You know, it's like kind of beautiful novel.
Yeah. I like where you're going with this.
And
not
Ted
laughing at you.
Kaczynski, he wrote a manifesto and maimed like dozens of people from his cabin. I don't know what point I'm trying to make here, but it is the CIA's fault.
We were trying to wrap it around to that anyway, right? So just cut to the chase. They did it.
I do have a question for you boys. We've covered some spooky CIA activities now, not necessarily substantially, but who do you think has the creepiest government? America or Russia?
Ooh, that is a very, very tough one. I find the Russian government slightly more creepy because of the USSR, because I feel like that was a very creepy time in that area of the world. There's a lot of nuclear experimentation going on. But same thing with the US. I don't know. I bet the Chinese government's pretty sketchy too.
Yeah, well, we can control weather.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
The Chinese weather control thing? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they are behind us because we have had HARP. Okay.
What's HARP? Enlighten me.
Hold on. Let me just fire up the Google machine.
The Googler.
try to hide that at all.
The little
Let me.
Google. Is that a long article?
Home Affordable Refinance Program. No, that's not it. The harp is a stringed musical instrument that has a number of individual. Oh my god!
So that they use a harp and it sings to the sky.
Basically, it's it heats up the atmosphere,
Nice.
so you can communicate more efficiently. But really, the harp director admitted this to Alex Jones, and he is telling the truth that they can control weather. And what is troubling about this, Bill Gates bought the patents. You can Google that. Bill Gates controls the weather.
Wow.
I mean,
That's pretty powerful.
We're not breaking the story, but I think we should put that out there.
I want to say, I think you're right, Evan. I think it is a giant harp because if you think about it, the fundamental building blocks of reality, they're strings, right? So you play that harp and you change the vibrational frequency of the universe. You can change the weather. You can change anything. Really, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I would completely agree. I mean, think about the most important things in life. People play at your heartstrings. That's about love. And that is about strings, too. That's all.
That's true, and the CIA, the shadow government organization that we are attacking on this episode, controls much of the world through strings. So currently they're investigating whether or not Russia was in cahoots with the Trump campaign, or whether or not Russia influenced the installation of a power in our government. And I think that I'm excited to see where this investigation goes, because we all know the CIA. I'm not a history major, but I know for a fact that the installation of foreign leaders beneficial to the United States is pretty much the greatest hit of the CIA. It's the if they were Radiohead, it's the creep of the catalog. It's the thing that everybody knows.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely the CIA has been instrumental in installing many different governments, although they've had some failures, which has sort of let us recognize how blatantly, involved they are in every part of our life. Bay of Pigs, for example.
Bay of Pigs,
Yeah.
the Contras.
Yeah, the Nicaraguan Contras,
Weren't
yeah.
they funding the Contra opposition through the drug trade?
Yeah, which is pretty reprehensible, because at the same time, there was also a war on drugs in the United States, so that...
Did you bro Tindos check out Alex Jones on the Joe Rogan podcast? I was listening to Parabola by Tool, slowed down 2 times, but I decided to check it out anyway. And Joe Rogan made a really good point. They brought this up, and I was so excited because it spoon-fed me material for my own show. They're an intelligence agency. They know stuff. They knew that at the time there was money to be made off drugs, so why let everybody else rake in the profits when you could have a hand in it yourself? And furthermore, if you don't exploit that market, your enemies will. The communists will get all of the money.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you think that rationalizes, have you heard the conspiracies of when they'll have a plane full of cocaine and it will mysteriously crash and the cocaine will go into the possession of someone else, which is sort of like a roundabout way to make the transaction?
Interesting. No, I haven't heard about that, but that definitely sounds like something the CIA would do. Guaranteed. That's CIA, that's their name.
Yes, it is. Contra intercepting aircraft. Yep. You heard it here first, folks. It is 11:23, which means it is time for our first break. I'm Roy Michaels, joined tonight by Connor, Evan, Keith, and Sean. We do have a special contest for this evening. It's a riddle contest. We're going to give you a riddle, and if you can solve that riddle, please give us a call at 207-581-2339. That's 207-581-BEEF. Now, the riddle is this. What lies at the bottom of the sea, but lives in the forest, and you can always tell when your eyes are watered, but dry like the wind in the north? Connor, you have the second part?
No, I do not have the second part.
Well, Connor, tell them. What will they win?
3 tickets to David Letterman live.
I don't... All right, if you know the answer, that's 207-581-2339. That's 207-581-BEEF. I'm Roy Michaels. This is the Mystery Hour on WMEB at 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. It's 11:24. See you again soon.
Join me, Chris Walters, on the Friday Morning Show, every Friday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. You'll hear from different guests of the University of Maine community as they share their thoughts on the hot and trending current events from the past week. This is your time to catch up on what's happening in the world and get to know the fascinating students, employees, and community members from the state of Maine's flagship university. The Friday Morning Show, every Friday morning from 8 to 9 a.m. on WMEB 91.9.
Hello. Welcome back to the Mystery Hour.
Well, welcome back. I'm Roy Michaels. This is the Mystery Hour on WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. It's 11:28, and tonight we are covering the Central Intelligence Agency, and we are going to continue our journey with remote viewing.
Are you ready for an adventure into the ether? That was my...
I think I might be.
Okay, let me say that again. Are you ready for an adventure into the ether?
I am ready for an adventure into the ether.
Okay, here we go. Let me just prepare
Yeah.
myself.
Okay. Do you need some esoteric music?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, let me just find it here.
Okay, I see a house. There's a car out front and kind of a stone porch. I'm gonna make my way inside. I'm gliding right through that front door. Stop laughing at me.
What do you see, man?
I don't see anyone. I'm going. I'm just seeing there's very funny stuff happening in this house right now. There is a couple dancing, and it looks like they're very much in love. It's beautiful.
What do they look like?
The woman is short and skinny, and she has black hair. She's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
And the guy, he looks quite a bit like Keith, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Like exactly like Keith. We'll have to look into that later. But I'm gonna head over to the next house real quick.
Okay.
Going upstairs, and it looks someone's showering. Take a look in there. Okay. Probably that was Evan's mom, so I'm gonna back out of there. I remote view her quite often, but not tonight.
Okay, Connor, tell us what you see.
Is your mom listening? All right.
She's not listening.
Okay. All right. One last time. Remote viewing. Looks like. What are you laughing about? I'm trying to be serious here. I'm under a bridge, and there's a.
Listen, we spend the entire budget for the Mystery Hour for every semester to teach you how to.
It's working, isn't it?
Okay.
Listen, I'm under a bridge,
need
and there's
results.
a homeless man, and there's a cat with 3 legs, and he's patting it, and for once in his life, he has a smile on his face. That's it.
So, tell us a little bit. What did you just do? What is your method? What?
Well, first you need to be extremely joyous. You need to laugh. You need to smile. You need to appreciate the world around you. That's
What is it with you? We're trying to do a show.
you need to tap in to the natural compassion that encompasses all of us in this beautiful universe.
Because we are part of a universal consciousness.
We are the universal consciousness.
You ever learn about something, and then a few days later, someone else says that something? That's a synchronicity, my friend.
Yes, it is.
And that is proof of the hive mind.
And that's a form of remote viewing that the everyman does without even knowing it.
Yeah, and I think a great way to explain remote viewing to our listeners, because it seems that we are incapable of doing so without showing them the form and action.
Yeah.
They need a more concrete definition, and I would point them in the direction of Stranger Things. That's exactly what Eleven does when she goes down in that tank into the Upside Down. So Stranger Things is a TV show. It's on Netflix.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, we're about to give a real life example, not of remote viewing, but something very similar.
Go on.
I hope our listeners have gotten their old broken watches and other small mechanical objects.
All of their gizmos.
All their gizmos. That is the right word, exactly. Okay.
So, what are we going to do with these gizmos?
Now I want
So you hold the watch in your hand.
hold the gizmo in your hand.
You hold it tight.
And hold it tight. And we're gonna do a bit of a mantra here. Okay, on the count of 3, we're going to say work. Okay, everyone in the studio is gonna do it too.
After 3 or on 3?
I'm with you.
Like 1, 2, 3, work.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Misunderstanding.
Yeah. All right. 1, 2, 3, work. We're gonna keep doing it a few
How many
times.
times?
4.
If your gadget goes on, please give us a call at 207-581-2339. That's 207-581-2339. I do believe we had a caller for our riddle contest, and that is Evan from Bangor with the answer erosion, and that is incorrect. I'm so sorry, Evan from Bangor. It's
Roy,
not
one
right.
time is not enough.
Yeah. Do you think that the Patriots use remote viewing to in their 18-1 season?
1, 2, 3, work. And no, I do not. I think that was based entirely on skill.
I think if they did use remote viewing, they would have won the Super Bowl that year. You don't remember that?
I don't know a thing about sports.
You hear about this? 18-1? Near perfect season, crushed by the Giants.
Did they keep football records in 18-1?
We got. Are you kidding me?
18/1?
That was a national tragedy for New England.
Who?
Yeah, what?
This is
Is
one
New
of those
England a team?
Bernstein Bears situation where I think I'm in the 18-1 universe, but really the Patriots had a flawless season that year.
Wait, I don't understand your reference completely. Which episode of the Bernstein Bears was this?
Well, let me explain it to you, Evan. So, the Bernstein Bears. I know them as Bernstein. Stein. There are many of me who belong to the school of Steen. We connect through forums, Reddit, 4chan, Steengate. And it seems that, in reality, it's Bernstein Bears. This does not match my childhood memories, and we believe that all of us were part of a temporal schism, that we accidentally drifted into a different dimension where we are in the Stain world now. Something happened. Something disjointed us from the dimension of our youth, and now we are here. Because I know for a fact it's Bernstein Bears, but if you look it up, it's Bernstein Bears.
What? Who said that?
Yeah, what I'm saying, something happened.
Well, is
There's-
it on the
there's
wiki? Like, what are
dark-
you looking at?
There's dark. It's on the it's on the wiki, but there's dark matter seeping into our universe through gravity that has forced us into a lower plane of consciousness. There are 12 dimensions. Albert Einstein proved this, and we are on 6, but we are dipping down to 5. Okay, we're growing more weak. We are temporally lost. Do you understand why this is a problem?
Yeah, no, I completely
Like,
understand.
if you imagine time as a flat circle, like there's a Bernstein where we were, that's our home, and now some dark force, probably Satan, has put us in the staying universe.
So you're saying that we're like bridging the gap right now, and the main indicator right now is the fact that some people call the Bernstein Bears the Bernstein Bears?
Yeah, it seems funny, but it is a dead giveaway.
No, I completely understand. The one thing I don't get is why don't we just call them the Bernstein Bears? Because that probably makes more sense because it's a German name.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Case closed.
that's it.
I just want to say I remember it as Berenstain Bears, so not everyone's out of sync with reality.
Because you're
I'm
from
all
this
here.
reality.
Yeah, exactly.
So we kind of are we done with remote viewing?
No.
Well, let's move on to Operation Mockingbird. That was a CIA program with the goal of buying influence and control over major media outlets. It started during the Cold War, okay? 1950s. Journalists were meant to be put on the CIA payroll underneath Operation Mockingbird. And the list of appointed agents proves that the CIA slithered its way into ABC, NBC, CBS, Time, and Newsweek. We're told that the project ended when its nature was brought to the public eye, but I think we know better. So based on... Hold up. Take a deep breath. Are you breathing? Earlier this week, our president, Donald J. Trump, tweeted, "The fake news media failing. New York Times, NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN is not my enemy. It is the enemy of the American people." Evan, based on what I just told you about Operation Mockingbird, are you willing to stand with your president, Donald J. Trump, against the mainstream media, the true enemy of the American people?
Gotta be honest. Probably not, no.
So, but what if you knew for a fact that our media was controlled by a shadow government organization, and that Donald Trump was the true patriot? Would you stand with him? Are you a Trump guy?
No, sorry.
You stand with Trump?
I don't stand on Trump at all.
Would you stand with our president?
No. I will not stand with my
Will
president.
you make
currently.
America great again?
No. If we're honest.
Okay. Do you think that the media is controlled, though? To an extent?
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, it's kind of interesting because a lot of foreign governments, their medias are controlled by like their actual government, even though they tend to be independent. But like, for example, the CBC in Britain is a government-run agency technically, and they're like the premier news agency that they have. So it's interesting that we have sort of a privatized news industry in the United States, because it does make a difference that way.
Yeah, you sort of... it makes you wonder about the special interest. Like I said before,
Yeah, of
and
course.
I'll say it again, you have to follow the money.
Yeah.
I do think that it can be benevolent.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it sort of depends. It's a interesting situation that we have currently, but hopefully the media will understand that they are sort of in an interesting position where they have a chance to really show that they can still produce great news. So hopefully that will be what the future holds for that particular part of our government and our politicals.
That's a very good point, and I am I am sorry I put you on spot there.
It's all right. I'm fully okay with
I took a-
telling you how I feel about our great president, Donald J. Trump.
Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this show are those of the DJ and do not reflect the opinions of WMEB, its staff, or the University of Maine.
All right, Michaels. I was just taking a page from the MK Ultra book, where I try to shape your belief. I was using some atmospheric music to sort of break down your brain.
Oh, my brain was breaking.
Okay, so let's think about Operation Mockingbird, right, and the control of media. What about social media? Because we're all kind of like on Facebook now and like fragmented into groups based off people who mostly agree with us. It's kind of like an echo chamber, right? Do you think that an influence, say you wanted to control a population, wouldn't Facebook be very easy to manipulate? You can spread the right memes at the right time, get people riled up. I did hear once that there was an experiment, and I don't know what it's called. I just read it somewhere. That there's a government project where they would post stressful things on people's news feeds, right? Like horrible tragedies over and over again. Just like, share this person died, to examine how it affected the people behind those accounts. And the anxiety levels went up.
Doesn't surprise me, honestly. But yeah, I do agree with you that social media would be a great way to influence general opinion. Because to some degree, if you disagree with your best friend and they make a big deal of it on social media and then you get blocked, what are you going to do? You don't have anyone to talk to anymore. And now you can't even share ideas between you two. They're stuck with their belief, you're stuck with your belief, and there's going to be no discourse between the two. And like you said, it's going to be an echo chamber. Connor?
Well, China has actually been experimenting with a social stop it, you guys. Social media platform that rewards nationalism, and so if you get points for buying things online that are from China, and you lose points from buying things online that are from other countries. And if you're friends with people who have low nationalism points, then you lose points. So it's a really strange way to influence their country. Yeah.
Is that just some top-notch banter, or is that?
No, that is actually true. Look it up.
Hold on, I'm gonna take the phone real quick.
That's crazy. I don't even know what to say about that. I've never heard about this, but at the same time, like, I would not put it past the Chinese government at all. It's weird because lately they've been obsessed with nationalism. They're really pushing like the whole national pride thing so that they can keep their country together. But it's all about control because the authoritarian regime obviously is pretty strong in China, and they're a little bit afraid that throughout the future it's going to be a tough situation. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're more of a capitalist. They're more of a capitalist economy right now, but they still got that like nationalistic edge to them. I think that communist kind of, you know what I'm saying?
No, I completely understand what you're saying, but that's crazy. I can't believe that's actually a policy that they have.
Yeah, they may have given up on it. I'm gonna have to look into it, and I'll send you a link to it.
Yeah, definitely do. I would like to look at that.
I just like the butt in for a moment. Fantastic bit, Connor. It's not a bit. I'm sorry. It was a good piece. We actually had a caller, Roy, while you were busy. I didn't want to interrupt. Josh Doobie asks if the answer is sand. The answer to a riddle, of course.
And what do you think?
I didn't make up the riddle. It's all you. I don't know the name. In fact, I asked you before the show.
I'm pretty sure you've told everyone that has called that they won.
I have told nobody that they've won.
I think I was the first person to tell someone they didn't win.
Okay.
And I believe that was my cousin Evan. Shout out to Evan. It is not water, and you need to really step up your game. Maybe think about it, because we are going on our second break. It is 11:45. This is Roy Michaels, and you are listening to the Mystery Hour on WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. We're going to be back with some of the dirty deets on the men in the unmarked vans with black sunglasses.
Black sunglasses, who's going to do what? Flashlights?
Nowhere to be found.
Emergency supply kits?
Not packed.
Great. Sounds like we don't have a plan.
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Visit ready.gov/kids and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hello and welcome back. This is Roy Michaels, and you are listening to the Mystery Hour on WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. It's 11:48, and we are approaching the final straight of our voyage into the unknown circumstances surrounding the Central Intelligence Agency. Keith, did they guess the riddle?
Yeah, no guess has been made. They actually asked you to repeat the riddle.
Repeat the riddle.
Yeah, I think that would be fair.
Yeah, let me just pull it up here.
Connor,
Let's-
prepare the second half
let's
again, if
repeat
you will.
The riddle. Oh boy, what was this riddle?
Do you not have it memorized? Are you not as committed to this as I believed you were? Maybe I shouldn't have agreed.
David Letterman tickets are a big deal, Mike. Roy.
Yeah, 3 of them. Trace. Evan, what's that in French?
Toi.
Ooh, yeah, trois tickets.
Toi tickets.
What lies at the bottom of the sea, but lives in the forest, and you can always tell when your eyes are shut and covered with crusties, but your pupils, they're dilated and awake. The wind blows north and washes your body clean of clothing. You are naked in the air. The sun beats down upon your brow. Connor, it's your turn.
Bees, trees, seas. On my knees.
Roses are red, carrots are neat. Our reality is manufactured by the global elite.
Pretty solid.
The next segment of our show deals with one of my most favorite gizmos. The most nefarious gizmo. No, not Gizmo from the 80s film Gremlins. I'm talking about a pretty wacky but clever gizmo invented by our friends at the CIA and debuted to the public in 1975 by Idaho Senator Frank Church. Said a little bit like Skeletor, huh?
I thought that was his name. Like, I thought his name was Idaho Senator.
Senator! Idaho Senator Frank Church. During a congressional hearing, Church presented the plastic battery-powered weapon to the crowd while explaining its purpose. The heart attack gun, or as I like to call it, and as it will be known as through the rest of this episode, the HAG, shoots a frozen ice bullet that contains deadly shellfish toxins. The bullet can penetrate clothing, and when it enters the target, it melts and disappears without a trace. The lethal shellfish poison then rapidly enters the bloodstream, causing a heart attack, hence the heart attack gun. Once the damage is done, the poison denatures quickly, so that an autopsy is very unlikely to detect that the heart attack resulted from anything other than natural causes. A person hit with the HAG may feel like they have been bitten by a small insect or, nothing at all. Of course, the development of the HAG was secretly funded by tax dollars. I know what you're thinking. You are expecting me to say that every high-profile individual, politically outspoken person, whistleblower, or witness who died unexpectedly of a heart attack was actually assassinated by the CIA. To that, I will say maybe.
Is that it? because I would like to butt in that I saw the MythBusters episode on this, and unless the CIA had their hand in that, the bullet couldn't actually release from the chamber without melting from the
just
heat of...
talked about the CIA manipulated media.
Okay, so yeah,
of
is that
course
the tie-in?
the MythBusters guys are in their pockets.
Okay, perfect. So now we can't trust MythBusters either.
We can't trust MythBusters.
Can we trust them until our president denounces them? Like, what if our president and leader, Donald J. Trump, tweeted, "Do not trust MythBusters because they're phonies," or I don't know how he speaks.
He would...
When do we stop trusting them?
Can't
and do
even
we
trust
them now?
MythBusters. Sad.
Okay, yeah, you got it. If that was it, it would be that. But I guess the point stands, how much do we trust MythBusters?
I would say don't trust anyone.
Okay. I think that's actually fair.
I learned that from an old idol of mine. The prophet and seer, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Don't trust anyone. Everybody.
I mean, if we can't trust MythBusters, who can we trust? They're an American institution, right?
Can you reasonably trust the government? This is a discussion question. Connor, you first.
No, but you can trust MythBusters. I don't want to get off that topic. They're an American institution. That's where I draw the line.
Okay.
Yeah, I trust the MythBusters. Jamie Heineman and who?
Adam Savage?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, Evan?
The MythBusters, yeah, no, I definitely agree. They're probably the most reputable source of information I've ever encountered in my entire life.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think, Sean?
I agree with everything you just said.
He knows his job. He's our hype man, if you will. I would believe them to some degree, but I watched the episode where they figured out they couldn't jump in an elevator to survive, and I don't want to believe that because that's how I want to live. Like, you know how people say that's how I want to die? That's how I want to live. I want to be in a near-death experience, falling from an elevator, and I want to jump at the last second. And when I do, I want Jamie to be there. And I want her to look me in the eyes. And I want to be like, I told you, man. I knew it this whole time. It was the CIA. It was you. You were holding hands the whole time. And I see it now. I'm alive.
Wait, how does he get there? Does he kind of fly upward, or does he just appear?
Sean has some info.
I like to imagine he'd like pry open the elevator door and then just like outstretch a hand towards you.
Yeah, he was actually there to check out like the visceral details. Like he wanted to see how splattered my ballistics were, and then he's like, "Oh, whoa, okay, I got some explaining to do."
Well, that's the thing about him is he is extremely powerful, very strong. He busts myths metaphorically, but also physically. With the power of his muscles, right? I mean, have you seen him? Bam! He's just...
Yeah, I think I've seen him on some, like, 4 a.m., you're looking at TV and there's, like, a home workout commercial thing. Yeah. I've seen him on a couple of those. Like, he could beat us up 2 at a time easy. And there's only 6 of us here right now? Like, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wait, whoa, you
oh
just
my God.
6 of us. I think we were just visited by a Wendigo.
No, I'm sorry. I was just confused by his physical prowess. Like, I mix it up all the time. It's only 2.5 Jamies to take us all. That's pathetic.
Keith, can you check outside the studio window and tell us what the status of the chupacabra keeping us in here is?
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh, God. No, they're still up there.
Yeah, they're still out there. We're not going anywhere. For at least 3 minutes. They told me that in 3 minutes they were going to head out and
help us! I don't want to die down
go
here.
home to their chupacabra family. Oh yeah, Roy is really like Roy is not listening at all. He doesn't know that they're going to leave. I think he believes that we're trapped here for eternity, maybe.
I mean, it's day 7 trapped in here, and Mike's gas is just filling this place. It's disgusting. Just burp after burp.
Yeah, I got into some of that Willy Wonka bubbly stuff.
That's all we've got left in here.
That's all we got left.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's delicious. But you can't live off of it for... Well, I guess you can. We've been in here for 7 days. We're still alive.
We're still alive, and that's all that matters.
Still alive.
I just ate Keith's leg. It's fine.
Ooh, how was it?
Speaking of
Tasty.
Speaking of still alive, gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. Can we please get a drum roll? So we had a caller for our riddle contest, and that is Josh Doobie of Bangor, Maine, and he answered correctly with CIA. And what does he get, Connor? Tell him.
3 tickets to the incredible David Letterman show.
We never agreed on that.
We agreed on that at the very beginning of the episode.
David Letterman's retired. What is he going to go see? David Numberman?
Listen, we have a time machine, do we not?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, every time we...
I mean, that's not our problem. He can sign a contract, and whatever happens to him, happens to him, you know?
I think he gets a big old smooch from our co-host, Connor Spencer.
I'm not going to... Handshake?
Love you to bits, I'm gonna kiss you on the lips. But anyway, I think it's time to wrap up this hour of mystery. The Mystery Hour is a collective truth-seeking initiative. I'm Roy Michaels, and tonight I was joined by Connor, Keith, Evan, and Sean.
That's us.
You have to say goodbye.
Oh.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah, farewell.
If you do not hear from us next week, it is likely that we have been assassinated. The aforementioned Sean Kilpatrick and Jimmy Ozog are responsible for the ambient tracks used on this broadcast, many of which were designed specifically for the Mystery Hour. So they deserve a huge thank you and many kisses. Love you to bits. I wanna kiss you on the lips.
Please don't kiss me.
The rest of the tracks you heard in order from the start of this episode were Hombre Secreto by The Plugs, Pink Room by Angelo Badalamenti, Dance of the Dream Man by Angelo Badalamenti, Black Sunglasses by Heavy Times, and soon you'll be hearing Phantom by The Soft Moon. After your music needs will be taken care of by the sweet, sentient, but benevolent Robo DJ. As always, I would like to thank the powers that be at WMEB for unleashing our show upon the public and helping us grow along the way. And of course, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for staying up late with your radio. This has been the Mystery Hour on WMEB 91.9 FM, Orono, Maine. Remember what the paranoid Kane once said. Yes, I am paranoid, but am I paranoid enough? It's midnight. See you next week.